and head for information and media services, Mr. Daniel, and Mr. Tamba, who's worked with our security department. We're happy to be here based upon the invitation extended. Thank you very much.
That's right, boss.
I listened to the head of the institution
introducing his points. I don't know the purpose and intent of our hearing, whether those who he has named are important to this process.
That's why without placing them on the oath, with the exception of him.
So my point is regarding is more or less. I just want us to be clear in where we are going. If they are not needed, especially at the level of some of them are, I would think that especially if the high level people like I heard Cosby's name, I heard Thomas name, because of security nature of asset recovery, it makes sense to me individually. I would just advise that the others who are not in the core of the implementation of this function, they don't have to be.
I think your point is valid. However, the presiding will speak to your conscience and your wisdom to kindly allow them to have that dispensation to just sit. Please. Thank you. Honorable Williams. Thank you. So we proceed. Okay, Honorable Baliko.
Recognize that we are black people.
Honorable.
Sorry, you will not be in this.
I, Councillor Edwin Kla-Martin, Chairperson of IREP,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that the testimony I'm about to provide,
that the testimony I'm going to provide,
as it relates to the hearing,
as it relates to the hearing,
will be the truth
will be the truth
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Honorable Martin, you can have your seat, please. In keeping with our procedure of the House of Representatives, we allow the proponent, Honorable P. Masjure, to lead the conversation.
Give me 2 minutes, I speak up.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding. Co-presiding, fellow colleagues. Part of our public sector administration or public administration in this country allows the President of the Republic of Liberia the issuance of executive orders, which is good for our democracy. On March 5th, last year, the President issued Executive Order 126 that established the asset recovery. This year, it was renewed on the same day. And the asset recovery has a mandate to retrieve, to restore or recover, and reinstate fixed and liquid assets that were stolen from this country. A year ago, we haven't heard much as the people's deputies from the asset recovery. We need, at this point, the Liberian people need, through their deputies, to have an official report from the asset recovery. For me, I support the asset recovery, but if it has to be renewed year after year, they are being supported through taxpayers' money, and therefore it is important for them to report to the Liberian people what they have achieved so far. And that is why I call it prudent, ladies and gentlemen, that the Asset Republic come here and tell the Liberian people what they are doing with the monies that the Liberian people give them and with the mandate that they have to retrieve, restore, or reinstate fixed and liquid assets that have been stolen from this country. Thank you.
Distinguished colleagues, I believe that the decision to have the asset recovery team here falls outside of the jurisdiction of this body.
Take it back. Take it back.
No, let me talk.
No, take it back. No, take it back.
Let me make one.
No, take it back. No, take it back. Take it back. Take it back.
I have to.
Take it back.
You have the right
Yeah.
to speak, but the basis of the conversation are stirred. You said we lack the jurisdiction.
Take it back.
Yes. And let me explain.
No.
It's a legal statement.
No.
The Constitution. The body, the body. Exactly. The body that was established, the Asset Republic team, is a creation of an executive order.
Meaning what? Meaning what?
So when
Me above the
the president issues an executive order, I think that falls within the ambit of the president to
Information.
information.
Take that thing back, man. Take that thing back.
Information.
Or a mother code or ability.
Yeah, you don't want it.
Yeah, but it's gonna front to us.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will a little bit differ with Honorable Musa Hassan Bility on the basis that executive order are issued by the president provided under our laws, and then those orders are supported by taxpayer monies, and it is incumbent upon us, wherever the Liberian people's money go and use, it is our responsibility to establish an inquiry. Point of information noted. We proceed. Probability leave the mic.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I take this time to our distinguished gentlemen from Maryland.
They better want to step. When I behave, they'll disturb the place.
Please recognize. Please, police.
Honorable Marjorie was given chance to speak because he's the proponent. Mr. Presiding, we need to listen to the institution before we proceed, or we may open up a zero box that cannot be controlled. So I want to suggest, Mr. Presiding,
Wisdom for the rule of law caucus. We'll help you to lead the
Submission, let's just accept it. He's right. He's right. That dispensation of the school, please. Go ahead, Honorable, so we can proceed. He's right.
So enjoy you to the dinner.
Because we have
But wisdom from the floor, all presiding. I will yield the floor to the guests to proceed.
Honorable Martin, please take the stand. Police, I think it's time that we listen to asset requirement. Honorable Johnson, Honorable Sibo, your point has been accepted. All right. Thank you. Musa, we'll be you, Marvin, and myself. You treated the chairman wrong, but we'll talk about it.
You see it? Hey, you see it? Y'all wanted to swap the player? Our chairman.
Our chairman and the English chairman. Nobody will take respect Musa Benete here. Nobody will take respect him. So we decline that meeting. We'll not leave with you. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. No, Shewukana will support the new coup, yeah? I promise you.
Honorable Presiding Deputy Speaker, Honorable Presiding Officer, members of the 55th Legislature, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press, members from the Asset Recovery Tax Force that are here present. Honorable Presiding, and Honorable Co-Presiding, and members of the 55th Legislature, on the 15th day of May 2025, an invitation under the signature of the Chief Clerk was extended to me to appear on today before this honorable body to present a comprehensive report on the tax roll operation achievement since its establishment and announcement by His Excellency President Joseph Yimam Wakai. Honorable Presiding and Co-Presiding, members of the 55th Legislature, on behalf of the leadership of IREP, I want to use this occasion to extend profound gratitude to this august body for the invitation extended us and for our subsequent appearance under the able gavel of the presiding officer of this august body. We are deeply honored to be here and to inform you.
What's the vision, Mr. President? What's the vision? Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues. Mr. Presiding, I have observed by the testimony of the witness there. You read portion of the communication received on the signature of the Chief Clerk, requesting that you appear here to give an update on the asset recovery team. The distinguished colleagues appear here are copies of members to follow up and present to us in fulfillment of the PFL law that requires every quarter those who are charged with the responsibility.
The former speaker and the current deputy, they on your.
So, Mr. Presiding, a distinguished colleague can give me the distinguished witness can give copies that he brought and be distributed to members that we can follow as they present to us. We are now in class here that he will come and lecture us.
Former pro tempore, we acknowledge your point, however, the communication, speaker pro tempore, sorry, the communication did not speak to that, so kindly allow you to do this. Subsequently, copies will be requested and you will have the office.
Yeah. Intolerance of the colleague. Now that you are giving him some dispensation to continue to speak, I will suggest that he goes directly to the subject matter. Instead of giving us a lecture.
Yeah, please, to the point.
I will give you the core values from the core values. I will give you the scope of operations, come down to the achievements, the challenges, and the way forward. There are two major core values. They include the mission of IREP, which will ensure transparency and justice by recovering public access that were wrongfully acquired and to deter future corruption through legal accountability. The vision of IREP to build a society where public funds are used for the good of its citizens and not for personal gain, and where all laws that govern the management of public funds. The scope of IREP. What are our bounds? IREP was established and announced to investigate suspected corrupt acts related to public asset theft, trace and identify stolen and suspicious assets in and around the country, prosecute on behalf of the government of Liberia to recover stolen assets, collaborate with law enforcement agencies, integrated institutions, and international partners. Now the mandate of IREP as enshrined in Executive Order 145. The tax force mandate is legally empowered to do the following: identify and trace all Liberia stolen access, and suspicious access within and outside the borders of Liberia. Constitute investigative panel to probe into suspicious and illegally acquired assets of the Republic of Liberia. Constitute an effective and robust legal team, research and investigative panel as required to assist in effectively carrying out its mandate. Initiate criminal and civil litigation. Achievements. This is the foundation upon the letter that was extended to us. Our achievement as of April 2025, because of the sensitive nature that is related to security concerns, I will not call names. I will not call the name of the cases and location, but I will give you the numerical composition and the achievement was made. Information. Information. 28 active investigations that include high-profile corruption cases have been launched, covering the following: corporate entities, business institutions, private individuals, current and former officials of government. The fact here is that IREP was successful enough to have acquired these cases under its jurisdiction, and we were fortunate with the level of evidence gathering, intelligence, and surveillance that we conducted on the cases. We were able to now pin down those that are involved, the institutions that are involved, the amount that are involved as to the theft, misapplication, and economic sabotage. We believe, honorable members, honorable presiding officer, that this is an achievement for the Liberian people for the mere fact that we're able to bring 27 cases that borders on theft and economic sabotage and are now ongoing investigation. As we speak, the names that we cannot call, are currently being invited at the IREP headquarters and are now answering questions. Out of the 27 cases, 17 cases and nearing completion for court litigation. GOL lands that have been encroached upon, GOL lands and properties that have been encroached upon have been traced and identified.
Please give the witness chance because
In
it's
your
a serious matter.
Honorable presiding officer, honorable deputy presiding officer, co-presiding, members of the 55th legislature, as you may be aware, the government of Liberia from the past have been owning some properties, meaning lands. Those days they were referred to as convenient land. And those properties now in the various counties are being encroached upon. So AREP in its investigative capacity managed to identify those lost land that have been encroached upon, and subsequently a retrieval aspect will be done. AREP 30 suspicious properties believed to be built from government stolen funds have been traced and identified and are currently undergoing investigations. Our mandate requires that we look into the issue of suspicious assets. That is, we are under the doctrine of conducting what we call lifestyle audits on former imperial officials of government who have acquired properties that far beyond the legitimized remuneration that have been given to them by government. So in our investigation, we're happy to report to you that 30 solid properties with sufficient evidence in our possession have been traced and identified, and we are now in the process to make sure that those that are being culpable and held liable for these suspicious property will be brought for our investigation, and subsequently the law for retrieval will be applied. AREP successful collaboration with integrity institutions. Now we are working with integrity institutions, the IAA, the FIA, and that will include the Ministry of Justice, the Liberia National Police, Liberia Revenue Authority, Land Authority, etc. AREP under this government has been successful also to establish international engagements with international partners in Europe and that of the United Kingdom, Great Britain. Today, because of our engagement with international partners, there are tremendous efforts being made by our partners in Europe and that of the United Kingdom in tracing Liberia's stolen assets that were banked in foreign banks. And I'm happy to report that because of the sensitive nature of this achievement, we cannot name the banks and we cannot name the individuals. But there are progress on the way for the recovery of those stolen assets. These partners are currently working in consultation with AREP to trace, identify, and recover Liberia assets. AREP has engagement with international forensic investigators specialized in asset tracing. We have a month ago, we had the opportunity to invite FTI Consulting from UK. They are specialized in asset tracing and asset identification. And they came to Liberia upon our invitation, and we had discussion with high-profile government officials, and they have also promised the Liberian people that they will work along with the British government to ensure that the interest of this government is achieved to its end. The fact of the matter here that the president has given the fight against corruption the political will. That alone is an endorsement and encouragement on the part of the British government and those of our international partners that we are working with in Great Britain. Aaron has engaged the services of 2 international law chambers in the UK. And the law firms today, they are working along with us in terms of filing litigation papers, in terms of making representation and have the opportunity to visit the United Kingdom in November, to have discussion and to review the filing process. We are now in the process to file our first petition at the High Court in Great Britain for an asset that was discovered and for the effort that will be made by our international partners. That process is on the way. Arab has established international engagement with countries in the sub-region. I'm happy to report to you humble members of the 55th legislature that in the sub-region, our partners in countries and government are working along with us to make sure that Liberia recover all its stolen assets. And for the mere fact that this country, as you can see, Liberia has now put on the cap to fight corruption, and the president is now playing the lead way. And now what we need to do is that fighting corruption is not an individual priority. That is the business of the entire government. The 3 branches of government must cooperate respectfully in all its endeavor to ensure that corruption is fought. If you look around our country today, we notice the bulk of our problem is on the issue of corruption. And now, to conclude on our achievements, Arab has established international link with the Swedish government through the Swedish embassy. And the Swedish government has pledged its support to the government of Liberia that it will work along with us to make sure that those stolen access that we pray for are brought back to our country. These are our achievements thus far in April. The challenges that we face. Legal constraint. If you look at Chapter 4, subsection 4.2 of our criminal procedural law, which talk about time limitation. We believe that there should not be any time for the law provides 5 years. But we are saying that for corruption cases and other felonious crimes, economic sabotage, theft, there should not be any time bar. Once you attach a time bar to it, it's at the disadvantage of the government. So we are recommending to have that portion of the criminal procedure law amended. And there should not be any time bar to the prosecution of corruption cases and other theft-related cases. Then budgetary constraints. Error has never been placed in the 2025 budget. We are not part of the 2025 budget. And we respectfully request Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding Officer, members of the 55th Legislature, to consider Arab in their recaps. Okay. Arab needs budgetary and support on this for the following reasons: local investigation, legal prosecution, intelligence gathering, surveillance, international litigation, hiring of international lawyers, and international filings. Logistics. Arab need logistics, vehicles, and other things to do his work. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding, I'm happy at this time, based upon the invitation extended me, and to go directly into the merits of the invitation. I'm happy to make this presentation on the achievements and challenges with respect to the report that we have done thus far. Thank you very much.
Okay, distinguished colleagues, I know all of us have interest. We start from the far left. Procedural football. Just about our order.
Thank you. Your argument.
Honorable presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. So the witness, I heard you talked about running up for completion of some of the cases. You see percentage-wise, how far are we and how soon do we expect indictment to start rolling out? And second question to that, I also heard you talked about low budgetary allotment. How have you been operating if you do not have any funds, to operate? How have you been doing it? Thank you.
Chairman, all of you will speak. Let me patient. The man, please.
Answer the first?
No, just the first three.
Okay. So,
Just
Mr. Witness, thank you very much for your presentation. But I'm concerned about the scope and the limitation of the asset recovery program as it relates to the three branches of government. I want to know how far your authority extends, whether you can come as far as the legislature, you can go to the judiciary, you can go to the executive. And if so, what have you done when it comes to the three branches of government? Have you engaged them for any reason?
Please give the colleagues chance. Your time will come.
You talk about initiating your process of litigations. I want to understand what is the process that leads to your litigation processes. Whether you investigate and then you go to court. What are just the process that leads to litigation? Maybe not to take long, I want to end with the two international firms you talked about in the UK that you have established contact with. And then you just spoke about budgetary constraint. That beats my imagination about contradiction. I want to understand whether we don't have qualified lawyers, firms within the Republic of Liberia to represent the interests of the government of Liberia and level of the United Kingdom. Thank you very much.
Well, receiver last, the first batch, then you respond, we'll take the next batch.
You know what, talking about basically, I tell Johnson, I'm or you're calling outside, but now you're
Hold on, it's okay. It's okay, I'm okay.
I think about my money behind.
It's okay.
He has to take it back.
And democracy, Brian Masaya will not equal.
by thanking Kla-Martin and his team.
I'll go to the Senate. We'll go against you. I'll take you.
As serious as this matter is, I want to get the indulgence of our colleagues to allow the discussion to proceed. Please. Mr. Presiding, co-presiding colleagues. Let me start by thanking the head of the institution and his team for the work you've started. Amidst challenges, your report have shown overall that progress is being made. Howbeit, I have got two questions that I need you to address. First, the issue of timing. You said current and former government officials. To which extent are you considering limitation, statute of limitation? In other words, I mean, of course, I know you understand where I'm going, but are you going to top a regime? To do regime? To elect regime? Or just the past, immediate, and current? It's important. What are you going to do and do that? What are you going to do? To regime, in terms of people working there. People still living there. So you need to ask, you need to answer that. Why you going to run? You go down?
Please give the
second question is, you spoke about monetary allocation. Your work is so crucial that if we continue to operate you under the regime of executive orders, there will be times you will not be calculating the budget. Because as you know, that as and when the budget was being discussed, your executive order has already expired. As a lawyer, and a serious lawyer also, can you advise the president that this institution be legislated instead of us operating under the regime of executive order continuously, which will cause you time after time to have to be even mentioned in the budget?
So we allow you to respond. We take the next batch, please.
Thank you. I will start from the bottom to the top. Yeah, Ombosibo, that's a good advice. And based upon our expertise in the legal profession and how we intend to see Liberia under this regime.
Can you use the mic, please?
How we intend to see Liberia under this regime. And given the significance and the necessity of this tax source that borders on the recovery of stolen assets, I think there's a need that you have a legislation establishing a bureau for this commission. And subsequently, the appropriate and legal things to be done. Thank you. Then we come on the issue of statute of limitation, time. Is what I refer to in the chapter 4 of the 1 LCA revised, time and limitation. That portion of our statute is an impediment to the fight against corruption and other felonious crimes. Because it allots time, which is an affirmative defense for the defendant or the accused, and it works against the state, the prosecution. So my appeal to this legislative body is to have an amendment of that provision of the statute, that there should not be any time by 5 years for the prosecution. But howbeit there's an exception to that. The law says the time the prosecuting party or attorney takes siege of the matter, then the statute starts to run. So what happened here is that You asked a very salient question. But I will only give you a synopsis of what we have done. We are now looking at recovery from 1971. Our partners in Europe have had discussion with us, and they have what they call classification investigation. Classification investigation, we have given that to them, and they are taking it from 1971 to present. So when it comes to asset recovery, we're not only looking at immediate 6 years as people have misconstrued us to be. No, we are working with these international partners that have the expertise in asset recovery and asset repatriation. So what they've now done, and Liberia has, since our independence, IRA through this government have been the one to make the first case in Europe. So what they are now doing, they have classified Liberia and put Liberia into a case from 1971 to present. So progress will be made on that level. It's not time bound when it comes to that, because theft that was done in those past time were never brought to the notice of the government, which is the prosecuting attorney. So we take it from that level. Just want to clarify that. Then two frames. You talk about two frames. Why we can hire lawyers from Liberia and we're hiring friends from the United Kingdom. To be very frank with you,